We finally made it to my first Godzilla power.
We finally made it to my first Godzilla power scaling video. Oh, what a stupid idiot. This guy is the dumbest person alive. And here's why. So if you guys don't know, Goji Chronic made a Godzilla vs. Goku video and stating that Godzilla is allowed multiversal to high multiversal. And then this guy's trying to come in and debunk power scaling. When again, if you don't know, even people like Goku and Godzilla have a bit of science behind their abilities. Yes, this is really the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my entire life. So please, get this Mr. Chromosome-looking macaroni, stupid Backazone out of here before I actually come over there and smack his adult-looking ass. And then shoot him with a pop. Soda can, and then destroy his ass. I don't know where that came from. That was just something. Don't ask. Anyways, I'm not trying to cuss, by the way. This guy says, well, Goji Chronic is actually terrible at power scaling. I just want you guys to listen to this video for a minute and just see what you think.
Scaling video. You guys asked for this for a really long time, and it's finally here. So I'm just gonna give you guys some background of what we're gonna do for this video. So this video isn't exactly to directly scale Godzilla, but rather debunk a lot of the arguments that people try to use for Godzilla to get him to these extremely high levels of power. Now, this is in context to Heisei, so no, I'm not tackling anything about Godzilla in Hell or Marvel Godzilla or anything from the comics. Most of these disingenuous arguments primarily come from Heisei Godzilla fans anyway. So for reference, we're going to be debunking Goji Chronic's most infamous Heisei Godzilla scale, as there are many complaints that I have with it that do not logically follow from the premises that he commits to. Without further ado, let's go.
And last time I hinted at that low multiversal to multiversal wasn't nearly the peak of power at which you could realistically scale him at.
No, stop. Godzilla caps at universal to multiversal, and maybe at the very best, low complex multiversal.
No, how about you stop? Stop for like 5 seconds and think. Think with your tiny bean-ass brain. Okay, go back to Dragon Ball. Season fucking 1. Go back to season 1 of Dragon Ball Z. Goku and Super Saiyan caps out a universal to even at least low multiversal in Super Saiyan. Heisei Godzilla's base form. Planetarial to Godzilla Heisei base / charged up form. Planetarial to multiversal destruction. Planetarial to multiversal destruction. Multiversal. That's how powerful he was. Same thing with Goku. In fact, I don't know where your peen brain came from, but you actually are stupid. The amount of stupidity in this human is just undescribable at this point.
About how strong Burning Godzilla is and establish why he's on a different plane of power than his previous version. For starters, Burning Godzilla is only confirmed to have become Burning Godzilla because of the numerous amps he was getting in quick succession, from the 200 meter amp to the Rodan amp to absorbing Space Godzilla's cosmic energy. Due to the rapid succession at which he was getting these multipliers, his body couldn't take it anymore, resulting in Burning Godzilla.
Right before I get into this video, I also want to clarify that Goji Chronic likes to use the word infinite a lot.
I'd like to clarify this to you. Infinite in power scaling is meaning a mathematical number. Actually, for once, it's in power scaling, the actual mathematical word infinite means what it means. How else do you think power scalers actually power scale a character that actually is pretty overpowered? They will sometimes use the word infinite for certain abilities that have, like, an actual infinite multiplier to them or something. Like Goku, Ultra Instinct Goku. Now, I'm not trying to debunk Goku being more powerful than Godzilla. I'm not trying to debunk Godzilla being more powerful than Goku. I'm really not trying to debunk that. The only reason why I said that is because this guy's a Goku Dragon Ball channel. I think he's mostly a Dragon Ball guy. Yeah, this guy's mostly a Dragon Ball guy, mostly an anime guy, and has really never done really power scaling to anything that's been science fiction. And of course, Dragon Ball's also science fiction. It is. There's always a bit of science behind everything, including the way a penis works. Okay, so Mr. PP Brain, actually no, Mr. Chromosome Macaron looking brain. Actually, where did you even get this information from? Aha, little spy birdie up in the north. Yeah, a little spy birdie up in the north. No, you did not get it from there. You got it from the little spy birdie in the south. So shut your Google Chrome Macazone, looking like a macaron, Goku Axazone, and shut up for 5 seconds and let me roast you in peace.
And automatically assumes that the statement infinite automatically refers to mathematical infinity, when infinite can also just mean something that is really big. For example, I can tell my homie, oh, I told you countless amount of times to do this. This is a perfect example of the word infinite being expressed in a finite amount linguistically. So the fact that the word infinite doesn't always have to mean literal mathematical infinity low-key messes up a lot of Goji Chronic's arguments, because he does this a lot more than you think. But I will grant that some of his infinite statements do logically follow, like the infinite heat ray, which literally has an infinity symbol. That's pretty mathematical to me. But yeah, just to clarify.
Space Godzilla is stated to transcend the laws of physics. Seeing as how the universe is a 4D construct, you could argue that this would make him 5D.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so you need to prove that the laws of physics in this context is going to be a qualitative transcendence, which you did not justify a single ounce in your sentence. Transcendences don't always have to necessarily grant something that is a qualitative transcendence, which you yourself concede to as to why you don't believe the...
Okay, listen, you missed the idiotic Synchrosius Nokahoni Big Back, who only does anime scaling and has never scaled actual science fiction for once in your life. Shut the frick up before I actually come over there and smack you so hard, you'll taste the rainbow. Listen, the statement infinite doesn't mean, oh, I told you this countless of times, do it now before I have to tell you another countless of times. That's not how the actual word actually works. And especially in power scaling, mathematical numbers mean certain things. Because, again, in power scaling, there's a mathematical number. Also, transcending the laws of physics. All Godzillas do this. Godzilla was able to walk on an aircraft carrier in the Monsterverse, and he's over like 100,000 metric tons or something, from what the statements have been applied to. Yes, real Monsterverse statements have literally made him universal. And these are actual Monsterverse statements. I don't know where you're coming from, bro, because this doesn't make any sense. How are you actually this stupid? Like, bro, he's already planetary. Just wait until he just peaks his power at some point. Yeah, he can keep peaking his power and become star level as much as he wants, and still the peak of his power is universal level. It's the same thing with Goku. Just because Ultra Instinct has an infinite dodge and hit multiplier doesn't mean it can last forever. No, not that type of lasting forever. Just because the infinite spiral heat ray is infinite doesn't mean it's actually can be infinitely spammed. Like, you can't just infinitely spam infinite spiral heat ray. You're slowly dying the more you spam it. But it's also slowly getting hot. But it's also just getting hotter rapidly. You can't just spam it, though. That's just not how that works. So saying Godzilla could just spam his infinite heat ray. And again, the only reason why I said something about Godzilla and Goku in this video, because I've heard a lot of Godzilla videos of Godzilla and Goku, which I say just fucking stop it now, because they're both strong in their own right, and stop power scaling them. I know this is fun, but then when these people who try to debunk things that they don't even really know about, even if you're an adult, it doesn't make it any better when you try to watch the video. Like, we have all watched Death Battle and how the fuck that went. Hulk versus Godzilla, that was shit. That stuff was shit. Sorry, I'm not trying to cuss, but it was crap. It was bullcrap. It was so unbelievably wrong that my camera... And yes, the only actual thing that really was realistic was Hulk winning. That was because Godzilla ultimately using his full power could have just kept changing the universe completely. That's why they had to have Hulk win. And no, Bruce could never make an ultimate nullifier. Because for Hulk to even destroy Godzilla, he'd have to destroy himself plus all radiation, including the concept that formed both of them, meaning they would never have existed. It would make no absolute sense. So you see, as I'm applying other videos to this topic, you can see why I'm starting to grow more hate to this dumbass.
Afterlife in Dragon Ball is 5D. So I don't know why you're trying to be a scaling goon and automatically taking the word transcendence to mean something higher dimensional. It just sounds incredibly bad faith under your position. Now guys, let's go over what it can also mean. Using only what the statement says by itself, it states creating motion that transcends the laws of physics. This means that the motion itself is tied to the laws of physics. Well, what does the laws of physics posit about motion? The limits of motion, according to the laws of physics, posit the idea that nothing can go beyond the speed of light. So literally, this statement could just mean that Space Godzilla's speed goes beyond the speed of light. By the way, even if we take your interpretation to be the case at face value, it's still not 5D. To actually be 5D or low complex multiversal, you need to qualitatively transcend 4 spatial dimensions, transcending 3.
Again, if you shut your Google Chrome, Macazone, looking like a hackerone, built like a Macazone, piece of shit mouth up, I'm gonna come over there and smack you so hard. You look like jaded after a fight. Okay, so actually I'm gonna explain something. Just because transcending can mean anything, he's implying a certain type of a word transcending, you moron. Like, bro, like Goku, he transcended into Ultra Instincts. He transcended and became more powerful. And reason why I'm using Goku again as an example, because this is where the word transcending the laws of physics can actually apply. Bro has transcended multiple times and is still transcending. Godzilla does the same thing regularly. He defied the laws of physics just with his weight alone. I'm honestly surprised in the Monsterverse because they have to make everything have to weigh a ton more, weigh metrics of tons more than Godzilla, because him and Kong on aircraft carrier should have sunk it the mid-battle. Should have sunk it that middle fight on the aircraft carrier should have been, the aircraft carrier should have went bloop, 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 bloop. An image class carrier could not hold them. At a max loading capacity, could only hold 400,000 pounds. Godzilla weighs over 100,000 metric tons. Him walking makes earthquakes half the time. He just shakes the ground literally. Now, what is a lumbering machine sometimes, it's actually quite fast when he wants to sprint a lot. Especially in sprinting and long running, he'll make the ground feel like you're walking on an actual earthquake. Like you'd be like, that's the thing is, Godzilla has transcended the laws of physics. They literally had to make the laws of physics make no sense in the Monsterverse just for Godzilla to even exist. He breaks the laws of physics. That's what transcending the laws of physics means. Yes, just because something can transcend the law of motion and the laws of physics there, doesn't mean that's what it actually means, bro. He can still transcend the laws of physics just by sheer weight alone. Again, I can actually apply this statement to Goku, but not in weight, but in power. Goku's powers just significantly transcend what we know about the laws of physics itself and how it actually works. Since if the Kamehameha can be fired, and it's like just a pure beam of energy, pure beam of plasma, that can be fired so fast and really powerful, it just transcends the laws of physics itself. As we all know, at Goku's base, he could probably blow up a black hole. Same thing with Godzilla Earth. In base 4, he was destroying black holes. Now, again, you can say, well, this is a miniature black hole created by Void Ghidorah. I don't really care. You can say it's miniature or whatever you want to say. It's still a true statement. So, again, why I keep using Goku? Because there's a lot of debates on Godzilla and Goku. But again, this actually can apply here and actually does help you understand why this idiot doesn't know anything
dimensions of space and one dimension of time will not grant you low complex multiversal, because that is not four spatial dimensions.
This is supported as Space Godzilla can manipulate and create supergravity, which is superdimensional in nature, meaning that at the very least this would support 4D or Universal Plus.
Nope, I'm not finished. This method sucks too. This is yet again another Goji chronic goon activity that he's doing. Just because
Dude, your video's only 8 minutes and you didn't actually explain anything. My video's 15 minutes long and it still explains it better than you. Bro, I'm talking faster than you and you can still not understand my flow. With this whole, on the go, on the hook, yeah. But anyways, no. Goji Chronic is absolutely right about some of this. Now, well, not anything can be right, because nothing's ever going to be perfect. He's still pretty much right. Say what do you want, but I still believe he was right on that video. Plus, this is your first Godzilla video. Meaning, it really is only your first time actually trying to technically power scale the character. So again, this is one of your tricks to fool all of us to get hate on Goji Guy. That's what you people love doing. Because when some people do debunking, because when you're supposed to do a debunking video, it's supposed to say not really stupid or dumb, but just incorrect in certain areas. You're supposed to say it's incorrect in certain areas, and here's how. And then you go explain those certain areas where they got it incorrect and explain how they could get it a little bit more correct next time. Yeah. That easily the best way to explain something. It is so easy.
Because I add super next to gravity or just a general property does not mean it automatically has to correspond to some scientific theory or some mathematical theory about our realities. Supergravity could also just mean some really intense or extensive amount of gravity.
Again, no, you moron. You are actually dumb. Don't ask what that was in my background. It was just a fucking sound. But no, this moron is Yeah. If this is really your first video on Godzilla power scaling, I'd like to see you scale Legendary Godzilla properly. You know what's good at KOTM gave it? Maybe I might give you a little bit of a raise pay. Oh yeah, I'd like to see you try, dumb idiot. You probably couldn't get any of it right since you barely watched it. But you haven't watched any of the older Godzillas, and still, just because of what you see on screen, doesn't really necessarily work like that. Again, when he's talking about a science fiction film, he's actually talking about some part of the science in the film. That's what makes it a science fiction film. That's how it works. It can't just apply to other random statements. It's science fiction. It's just like, bro, get over it. You're just stupid. Like, I don't want to have to call you to do this, but I really gotta say it. This is just dumb. If you guys ask me, well, haven't you done a Godzilla power scaling video? I don't really do power scaling videos. I just come in and debunk people who think they've already debunked someone else, but really are just debunking themselves because they're actually dumb. Thank y'all for hearing this roasting session. I assure you, this video will be quite entertaining.
I mean, I guess, bro. I guess Kaguya's dimensions in Naruto are like higher dimensional, man. Yeah, Naruto solos. And just to expand on this joke, Naruto, who basically scales to Kaguya at this point, who has super gravity manipulation, would be stronger than Goku from the Namek Saga, who can only destroy a universe. But yeah, guys, there's just gonna be some goon in my comments saying, oh, Zeta, you're just a glazer. Oh, Zeta, you're taking this too seriously. Oh, Zeta, you're just a hater. From my experience with Goji Chronic fans, it's pretty 50-50. On one hand, you just have very chill people who just consume YouTube content and they can let you have your own opinion. But on the other hand, you have the most unbearable shitheads imaginable who are the most annoying people you can ever meet. So Goji Chronic fanboys, I'm going to ask you this. Are you really going to think that Naruto is stronger than Frieza? Please, are you going to tell me that to my face?
Oh my god! Who again was talking about Naruto? We never even implied he's a thing in this conversation. This conversation is about Hasty Godzilla, not Naruto. Just because I've used Goku, I've used it as a fucking example of what statements actually are supposed to mean. I've used it as an example for science fiction, because most of its powers are literally science fiction. You fucking idiot. You actually are stupid. Like, it's so stupid. Even God said, bro, there's no way you can be that. No. Swear to God, this kid, this YouTuber, in fact, I don't know how old he is, I don't care. He's so unbelievably dumb. Even anime watchers would call him, dang, Solo Leveling made a me turn. Okay, but in all seriousness, I'm gonna bring it back to being serious. Godzilla is low, well, it's multiversal to high multiversal. And that's the pretty much end of this discussion at this point. Other than that, let's watch the whole video through and see what else this guy has to say about Goji Chronic. As a fanboy, I just want to be as bright as I can, and I know this guy's not right. And this guy is a little too harsh, and sometimes certain statements can be incorrect, and sometimes they can't. And it depends on what context you're applying them into. Because again, if you're talking about something that is pretty much science fiction, there's always going to be applied to science. It always does. It always does. Just because you don't think so, it's just how the universe works.
So seeing as how we scaled the cosmology in the last video to low multiversal, this would mean that it's 5D.
Brother, what the fuck? How does this logically follow? Even if I granted you that Space Godzilla somehow, just somehow had super dimensional power, this higher dimensional power, even if I granted this, it still doesn't automatically grant spatially 5D.
Wrong, you idiot! Just because they don't have everything that calculates into 5D doesn't mean they ain't 5D. Ultra Instinct Goku right now is literally 8D. 8D! And he doesn't have anything that's necessarily required to be 8D. And you know, he's 5D already, and he doesn't have everything necessary to require 5D. Bro, I don't know where you're coming from, but you actually are so stupid. Well, my grandma's smarter than you. Please, get the fuck out of here. My dad could actually, bro, roast you so hard, you would be dead. Bro, you look like an educated bean team on a heed, getting torched on by a geed. Put it on the heed. Oh wait, yeah, I already said that. Just like your mama's bean. Your little mother told me that she wanted me and not you. I'm like a better child. Your mother is just so stupid. Oh, yes, I am giving the meat on this guy. This guy's stupider than shit. Bro, even Space Godzilla would be like, nah, I ain't that stupid.
I could be super dimensional and also have the zone fighter scaling, and they could both be 4D respectively. It doesn't have to be a direct transcendence over the other. You need to prove that. That's your burden, which you haven't done.
You link to 6 to 11D, but
Yeah, so the way mechanics of string theory operate on higher dimensions, it's not as simple as, oh, this thing has string theory, and this thing destroyed thing, and therefore it's like 11D or something. That's not how that works at all. String theory is a pretty complicated subject for me to get into, so I would recommend looking up.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that. You're correct on the string theory part, but you're not correct at all.
string theory itself. I know, shocker, I actually have to tell you to go look up something. I might explain it later in a guide for power scaling, which I've planned on doing a long time ago. Not sure if I still want to do that.
We're not gonna go that far. Moving on to speed now. Due to this 5D scaling, there would be immeasurable speed.
Holy fuck, no. Distance is something that is one-dimensional. It goes in a singular line. I could still be moving at 30 kilometers per hour in a higher dimension. Literally all a higher dimension is just an additional spatial degree of
God dang, yeah, that's one part right. Yeah, that's two parts right. It's that one fucking thing. Sorry, guys. The one thing that's wrong with this video. Godzilla's speed is immeasurable. If it was moving at the speed of light, it could easily go faster. But to be fair, that's if he wanted to. He didn't have to. Because the Godzilla Heisei multiverse wasn't relatively that big. So it would have been pretty much easy. That's why your girlfriend left you for me.
freedom. Like, if something moves at 2 meters per second in the second dimension, it's not gonna change if you put it in the third dimension. Like, distance doesn't magically change. Goji Chronic, stop trying to educate people on dimensional theories. This is so bad.
Comics, where the speed of light is actually measurable as it links to the speed force, you can make a valid argument that going at the speed of light would grant users immeasurable speed in the Godzilla cosmology as well. Because Mothra Leo, in his light speed mode, is able to time travel, and it's
Oh my god, Goji, you might be the dumbest creature. Yes, I called you a creature. Now that you've said this, I don't even think you're a human being. Your own scan literally admits that speed is defined by distance divided by time. So if you are going back in time, you are applying negative time, which can give you actual equations with
Wrong, you imbecile! Wrong, you imbecile! That ain't how that works, dumb sorry. That ain't how that works, you stupid idiot, and that's why your girlfriend was in my bedsheets last night. Yeah, I was really having a fun time with her. You creature! You bloody creature! All the nerve of this creature! Calling Doji calling a creature. You don't need to call someone a creature? Oh well, how would I do that to you? Dumb. Yeah, I want to see you. Scale legendary Godzilla. For the love of God, do it. For the love of God, do it. Do it. Do it, little pussy. Sorry, I wasn't trying to say it, but do it, scaredy cat. Oh wait, yeah, you won't. Someone hiding behind a tree. At least when people try, they actually get some things correct and some things not correct. Does it matter? No. They debunked it respectfully and debunk it respectfully. Sorry, I'm having issues saying words today. But I'm really good to debunk something. Do what a lot of people have done, and really just be as nice, polite, but also try to keep everything as best as you can when debunking something. Don't be like this guy and call someone a creature for saying certain statements. I could literally say Godzilla Earth's even more powerful than an archangel, and I am loving back it up. Doesn't mean you have to go in and call me a creature and be mean and rude. You can be so nice, so polite even. When I say that, you can just be like, you're a little bit wrong, but you're close enough. That's all you gotta say is that. That one word. And it makes everybody happy. I don't have to come on here and call you a creature. Oh, yeah, you are a creature, because also some of this video is wrong. Some of it's right and some of it's wrong. Again, there's a key factor. Some and some. There's also a key factor. Context. Yeah. Because most movies and comics and TV shows about people like The Flash, Godzilla, Goku, or anything that's manga, comic, or TV show or movie, whatever. Anything that has something to have to do a little bit with science, like full-on plasma energy beams, like the Kamehameha, or Goku, no, not Goku, or Flash's super speed, specifically Wally West, is full super speed, or even Godzilla's atomic breath that can pierce the sound barrier, that when shot can pierce the light barrier itself. Yes, I'm saying that because that's what it actually looks like. And no, I'm not talking about speed piercing the light barrier. I'm talking about Godzilla's atomic breath, light piercing the light barrier. See? Where I said Godzilla's atomic breath, light it's emitting, piercing the light barrier. The light he's emitting traveling at the speed of light. Meaning it is piercing the light barrier. Meaning that light barrier piercing doesn't always mean it's going the speed of in light. So, inconceivable little-brained human. Creature, actually, no, you're a creature now. You're the creature. You don't even know how to properly scale. Just because some parts are incorrect, you can be nice and polite about incorrect scaling. There are so ways to say it easier than calling someone a creature. In fact, would you like it if I called you a creature and I didn't even know you? Because I already did. Yeah. You calling someone else a creature and not really knowing them in real life, and not really knowing that they're just trying to make a living pretty much, and they're just trying to have fun, get people to be subscribed to them. They're just trying to grow and live and stuff. Like, they're just trying to do what they want to do in their life. But no, you people like you, are the people who ruin it. People who don't know how to debunk things nicely and don't know how to be an actual nice person. People like you. Creatures like you, actually. You're not even a real person. You're a creature. You're a fucking animal.
Within the speed formula. So by your own admission, time travel is bounded to time. Like gang, Goji Chronic, I don't even have to try with you, bro.
Even blatantly stated that the speed of light exceeds the speed of time. It was also confirmed to fly at light speed, with even some statements saying that he flies 3 times faster than the speed of light.
You are so easy, it's not even funny. A measurable speed is quite literally above speed, beyond speed itself. So the fact that this speed is going into these quantified measurements just makes it overall less expected for the author's intention to actually entail something beyond speed.
Please shut your Google Chrome, Macazone. Looking Goku with no PhD. Oh, bro, even Goku's smarter than you. Well, yes, in certain statements, that is true. In statements about this, though, it is not true. Again, you can be nice, polite. In fact, you can be the politest. You can be the politest you can be right now. Say, oh, well, this isn't really completely right, but you're not also completely wrong there. But you're close enough, is what I'm going to say. And it's a really good video. I know you put time and hard effort into it. It's just I kind of have to tell you that certain things are wrong about it, and you might want to have to change it a little bit. That's all. Sorry, I sound a little thick. It's because of my nose. But see, that's all you have to say to be nice. Is debunk something easily. All you have to say is debunk it respectfully, and all you have to do is debunk it respectfully, then say some of the changes you could make, and then boom, bang, bang. You're still friends. Well, actually, no. You're still not making many people mad.
itself. Because something beyond speed cannot actually be calculated.
With Yamata no Orochi. The dragon in question could tag birds that are stated to be able to time travel and transcend dimensions.
Anyway, so why is this contextually referring to a higher dimensional transcendence? Oh, you didn't prove it? Okay.
To create hyperspaces, so
Goji, I'm sorry to say this, but you need to prove why their creation necessarily applies to Orochi's AP. Because creation by definition is a hacks ability, and you would need to justify why this is done via energy itself. It's not a concept as easy as analyzing destruction, which you can easily connect back to power scaling, attack potency, and destructive capacity.
that who wins? And I'm not even gonna front. Godzilla wins.
Somebody safe, but we looking at him like, who this?
Who the fuck is this nigga? Move wrong and we dustin' this nigga? Just wait up 100 pack nigga? You broke me your money, that nigga?
And again, that's how you should not debunk any video about power scaling. Thank y'all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. When I came across this video and started watching it a little bit, I was a little bit dumbfounded. And while yes, sometimes he's right, there's also certain things he also gets wrong on. And I hope you all liked the content I was able to produce today. I hope you all watch this, and just thank you all for watching, subscribing, and remember, not everything is going to be correct all the time. Some things are going to be different. Gojira, out.